Hey, Scott Lara, thecruisegenius.com. Happy Monday here from Jacksonville, Florida. I want to jump on real quick. Yeah, I know there's a lot of things going on in the cruise industry. The fire in the funnel of the Carnival Freedom. This is the second time it's happened in a number of years. And of course, the incident on Holland America Line. And that's very close to home because my wife and I have sailed on Holland America over 150 days. And you may have heard that two engineers down there in the engineering department passed away due to an incident. Not very many details on it, but hearts and prayers and thoughts going out to the family members of those two folks, and of course the crew of the New Amsterdam. And you know, the number one question people ask me is, hey Scott, would you still continue to cruise? Absolutely. Things happen all the time, and you just have to be aware of that. And of course, none of the passengers were hurt on the Carnival Freedom or on the New Amsterdam. And so again, it's just an incident. It's life, and there's really not too much you can do about it except continue to cruise, which my wife and I and my family will continue to do. So pivoting from that, I want to give you a shout out about Orlando and SeaWorld. My wife and I were in Orlando this past weekend babysitting our two grandsons, the cruise kid and his brother Cole. And it's interesting about SeaWorld because I'm going to give you a couple tips that will help you if you ever go to SeaWorld. Number one, if you have those season passes, that really makes a huge difference. You breeze right through, you get the parking, and it was great. Secondly, you got to get there early. Don't be a slowpoke. Don't, drift in there at 10:30, 11:30. I'll get there when we can. Slowpoke, getting the kids out the door. Somebody doing their makeup, blah, blah, blah. I told my wife and I told the grandkids we're getting there early. And so we got there about 9:30 a.m. Up to the gate, and there were probably 3 cars in front of us. Now, there have been times in the past where there have been 20 and 30 cars in front of us, and there's probably 8 or 10 lanes to drive into SeaWorld. And so this time, because we got there early, and again, it means less stress, right? I don't like stress. I don't like pressure. I don't like it at work. I don't like it at the grocery store. I don't like it at the gas station. I don't like it in life. And I definitely don't want it on vacation. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. If you're going to the airport or getting on an airplane or whatever, you want to minimize your stress. Stress kills you. And if you can minimize it, try to at all costs. So going back to SeaWorld, we left the house early, got there around 9:30, breezed through the gate. Now, the thing that was the coolest was where we were able to park. It was right down within eyesight of the front gate. So if you've ever been to SeaWorld or Disney or anywhere else, I mean, I'm blonde and I don't have a gallbladder, so I have 2 strikes going against me. Sometimes I forget where I park. And many times I will take a picture and save it on my phone of Mickey parking, Goofy parking, blue parking, red parking. Even when Marty and I were on the Icon of the Seas a couple weeks ago, I took a picture of the number 5, deck 5 of the parking garage there by the Icon, and had some pictures to kind of remind me when I went to go get the car. Because again, you come off a cruise, whatever, where I park, and you want the least amount of stress on that. And that's another story about what happened there. I'll tell that story real quick, and so I'm going to pivot one more time. I have cruised many, 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 many days. 150 on Holland America, 75 on Carnival, on NCL, Royal Caribbean, Virgin Voyages. So cruising, no big deal. I've tried to just take a carry-on because you can breeze on and breeze off without having a checked bag. Well, on the Icon cruise, we had to check a bag because my wife went with me. And so we got on the ship, no problem, but leaving the ship, and again, maybe my wife was talking to me, maybe I was just spacing out, but we're leaving the ship, we're going down to the lower deck where you're supposed to get your checked luggage and then leave out of security, right? Well, I saw some guys standing there, porters, and I should have said, hey, sir, I'm luggage tag 35, can you direct me? But I just looked at them, I just kept going, and I really wish I would have done that. Well, I didn't. So next thing you know, we come up to the scanners, and you look at the scanner, and boom, you're out, because we had our passports, and they took, our passport pictures of us when we went into the cruise, and then that's all they do. And of course, you got these TSA guys whose arms are as big as my legs. They all look like, real big guys, very intimidating guys. And so we go through the scanner to leave, and I said, wait a minute, we don't have our bag. And the guy comes right up, sir, you can't go back in. I said, somehow we walked by our bag. Come with us, sir. We go outside, and they say, listen, we got to wait till everybody gets off the ship, and then we can get your bag to you. Now, I firmly believe with all my heart, they could have just looked, grabbed it, and brought it, but I understand protocol. I'm a Navy veteran. You do what you got to do. So we waited like an hour, even though we had already been off the ship. They finally bring the bag to us, and the guy who I saw earlier, thank you, sir. And I said, hey, listen, I'm a Navy veteran. I understand protocol. I get it. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. Well, thanks. You could have gotten my bag an hour ago, and we could have been on the road. That's beside the point. So you got to be mindful of that, right? But going back to SeaWorld, which I was talking about, it's these tips that could really make the difference. So we got there early. We parked in a great spot, and we were just able to walk straight down to the front entrance, go through. Now, I will say this. They say no snacks, and I get it. They want you to buy their food. But I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old grandsons. And so I just packed a couple snacks, not a lot, just a couple, few snacks, way below the waters, because you can bring in, the water, for the kids. And the lady, just stuck her thing in there, look around, okay, you go. And so we had snacks for the kids, which can save a ton of money. I mean, at SeaWorld, a hot dog can cost you $15, a soda can cost you $8. And again, you're just trying to save the pennies where you can. But Orlando is a great travel destination. That's what I want to talk about. And SeaWorld is great. Definitely check that out. And of course, leaving from Port Canaveral on a cruise, I mean, you got Disney, you got Royal Caribbean, you got Carnival, MSC. So if you want to cruise out of there, it's great. So that's it. Scott Lara, president of militaryfairs.com, thecruisegenius.com. Just kind of some rambling thoughts there on this Monday. Have any questions, just shoot me an email, scott@militaryfairs.com. Have a great week. I'll be talking to you again soon.